Swab Excalibur, joined by Nigel McGuinness, Tony Schiavone, and the
14-man Simple and Paul, being accompanied by the Pink Christian King.
And his favorite son and father, for that matter.
The man who holds a shot, a contract, spears you out of your boots back in London, England earlier this summer. I digress, Nigel.
Weighing 129 pounds, Hangman.
Coupling between Hangman Adam Page and the Patriarch Christian Cage, but perhaps
there's any question that kind of surprised us when we found out they would be the who should not be trusted.
Title aspirations, and that's why he's got an axe.
And their opponent is Blade Jay White.
seems to have an axe to grind with the Patriarch and the Hangman due to the
He was facing off against Adam Page when he suffered an injury in
the lead because Christian Cage interrupted the proceedings during that.
cost him potentially the match, but you could also put some of the distracted. Look at that beautiful mother.
Part of the patriarchy alongside her son Nick and Dre Bullet Juice Robinson, the true wild card.
Juice Robinson, because you just never know what he's going to do or where he's going to come from. And I think he and Jay are a lot more than Hangman would trust Christian Cage.
Now, the trip attempt by Switchblade Jay White, side headlock take.
Got it there, fellas, but even on the way out, Hangman and Page, I think, nursing an
just about a month to when these two men cross paths. Elbow strike, and Jay White goes down in a heap. Christian Cage tagging.
I don't think that was distrust at all, Tony. I think that was Adam Page for Charles de Gaulle. Ooh, Christian Cage opting to get in the match.
Between Hangman Adam Page and Switchblade Jay White.
As I mentioned, Robinson, Patrick back together, and who can forget that match of the year contender they
Part of the Full Gear four-way contender series. Looking to advance to World Tag Team Champions in that four-way match. But here comes Juice Robinson.
Pretty good work by Hangman Adam Page to get the attention away from Christian Cage.
Park.
And speaking of knocked turn, picking his shot. And a kick to the ribs on Juice Robinson.
Trying to gain the favor of the Patriarch, Christian Cage. I love you, Kip Sabian, because Kip Sabian in his hand.
That tag made now. Hangman along
To
execute the contract.
execute the contract, but also, and young Nick Wade.
Nice bit of healthy competition, that's what you're saying.
No, that's true. Look at that move.
Now Hangman, the far leg hook.
Father shouldn't. Nigel.
Good father should.
Boots on the face of Juice Robinson.
Could become the next AEW World Champion. I know it's John Moxley. I know to win that title. No question.
Well, it's John Moxley right in that main event match for the AEW World Championship. John Moxley to counter what John Moxley and his Death Riders have been bringing to AEW as of late.
AEW was formed.
Yeah, it's a big task, certainly.
But now it comes Hook! The man who's had his share of issues. Juice Robinson drives down Chris.
The Patriarch there with his same move.
Yeah, both men. Nick Wayne.
Oh, wait a second. Hangman Adam Page wasting no time. Remember, Hangman, of course, is a former AEW World Tag Team Champion.
Yes, he is.
Alongside Ken Robinson tagging in Jay White. And these two men teeing off on each other.
And those chops are right on.
At his feet, but again, favoring.
He can do a lot of great things.
Looking to drive down Christian Cage, but Christian looking for a kill switch. As you see Hangman clutching that knee.
He's all on his own, and now a slightly damaged Juice Robinson.
Telecast here tonight from Bridgeport. Big night here.
Rock Brainbuster. Juice Robinson, the cover.
Almost flawless.
Page coming in to save the former AEW World Champion.
And chop. Hangman charging in, sweeps out the leg.
Jay White had to come up from the other side.
Oh, and Hangman, look at this. Digging his thing. Jay White couldn't even see it coming.
White for Juice Robinson.
Juice has been hurt for quite a bit here tonight. Hangman, look at this. What does that accomplish,
Grabbing
Nigel?
by the beard.
Robinson does not follow a slam from the ropes.
May not have been.
Man, as Juice Robinson and Hangman the cover. And Hangman Adam Page will face one-on-one in screen. Join us for Full Gear on YouTube. But right got unabated into the jaw of Jay White.
He's trying to position him.
Swing! And down goes Hangman Adam Page. Robinson left hand of God.
Folded up the Hangman.
But again,
The barricade. Paw. The unorthodox striker, that left hand. Hangman looking for dead.
Yeah.
And so close despite the interference. Brain Juice Robinson and now Hangman. Dead eye center of the ring.
Just too many people around, Excalibur. Too many people.
well, I hate to repeat myself, but I said at the beginning, got caught out on the outside. Juice Robinson wide open.
Of that dead eye and also that case. As we mentioned, coming up on Saturday, November 23rd on pay-per-view, it will gear. Plus also coming up and against Orange Cassidy. But coming up later on to in store. And in 10 days' time, Swerve Strickland ring, but later on tonight on Dynamite, Swerve Strickland Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, tonight live on Dynamite. Four-way match, the Outrunners have already qualified tonight's star, or will it be House of Black's King of the Black Throne? Champion puts her title on the line against the former champion, Chris.
Renee, Mercedes, 1 week from this Saturday. In last
Renee, don't you dare even think about asking me to your CEO. Wait, what? It's not my fault that Camille dollar jacket. Pick that up now. Go put that in the locker room. I am not afraid of Chris, okay? Did you not see what I did to her at Collision? It's a little preview of what's to come at Full Gear. Now, Renee, I have to...
Sending Mercedes Moné and Camille and Statlander with the TBS Championship on the line. But Ospreay live on Dynamite.
Tomorrow night, Collision comes to Albany, New York, as the final spot in the Full Gear World Championship is on the line in a rubber match between Anna Jay and Mariah in Full Gear. These and other can't-miss events, all a part of a November to remember.
Welcome back to AEW Dynamite Live.
All right, everyone, and let's welcome in the aerial assault.
Nigel McGuinness, it has been weeks and weeks saying that he served his purpose for the Don Callis family, that he was more of a hindrance.
What Ospreay has had to deal with, as furious as I can remember.
Will Ospreay, owned by Konosuke Katesha right now, and it was stolen, basically. His friend, Kyle Fletcher.
Mate, I don't know. There's a lot of questions. Thank you, guys. Missed you. But I need some help. I'm going to call out Kyle Fletcher, and we're going to have a little... Coming out, Kyle.
Anytime you're dealing with the battle.
There is a potential of violence.
He was coming back from injury and trying to talk sense.
Out here by myself, but I have to prove to you that I am called you out to meet me in that ring face to face, and you would rather sit. So I'm out here to see you face to face, man to man, but just and we will send you home for a lot long talk about, huh?
And you ain't coming alone. Here, I ain't gonna lay a hand on you. I just want to talk.
Of course, the screwdriver has been pivotal in many of the betrayal.
I'm looking at someone that I used to call my brother. And house. While he was over in Australia during the pandemic, your empire, me, you, and Davis, we took over Japan. You know thing about me. You've come to my son's school to pick him up with me. It's me, so I want answers. I don't want it from Don's mouth.
Hey, to take credit for somebody else's success. Eyes to the truth. Yes, were you really doing that for, Will? Everything you do is all about... You can make me do your dirty work. You can make sure that I succeeded, but never selfish. And you are a hypocrite. I only did exactly what you envisioned. You would have done the exact same
I was sat on my couch with my little boy and you were shaving your head going, and what I did to Kenny, and you're saying you're doing the exact same for a clone. Back and I stabbed Kenny Omega, but before I did that, every continent I've ever gone, and I've not, bear me, and I'll tell you what you've done.
You want to know what I've done, Will? Going to do. I am going to surpass at Full Gear. I want Kyle Fletcher versus Will.
That's what this is all about. This boy wants his 5 minutes of fun. Look no further, lads, because around these parts, I've called. There's been 4 world champions, and they can't match a single. Challenge accepted, lads. Because when I watched you shave your head, and I'm sat with my 6-year-old and barely feel it anymore. I've lost so much strength in this arm, and I didn't feel it for those 5 minutes that he was there. You, from him. So allow me to put this nice little cat in front of you, and I'm going to be the mother lover to take it away from you.
That Tiger Driver was bad. You that screwdriver for a piece, Will. I'm coming for everything.
Whoa.
You show up to Full Gear.
Whoa! See, you guys got. You gotta fight.
Great, just like Brian Cage and Lance Archer coming to back up. Oh, Davis' former team partner, and now
they're coming this
Ospreay
way.
and Fletcher.
And Lance Archer's already out here, and look at.
We know he has to go through Lance Archer to get it, and it falls count anywhere from happening.
Whoa, look at that.
Hunter behind the bell is wrong in this match. This match, I guess, has begun. As Archer now with the grip around the throat of Roderick Strong. Kicking out, and fans don't go near this 3rd consecutive victory. And an opportunity to face MJF, and not making it easy.
Well, that guy's got to be happy.
Brian Cage.
I was saying, look how quickly Archer got up, but no, you're right.
Full of cash, the Dynamite Diamond ring to Don Callis, the financial.
Oh, no.
If they hit this, it is over.
You are exactly right.
Cage and Art Kingdom.
Just at the right time, I might add, because you were right.
Lance Archer.
Falls count anywhere, no disqualifications.
Knocking the head of Matt Taven.
Got Roderick Strong down. And look at Strong cannot even get.
Incredible agility for a man 6'6", 6'7".
Archer. And now Archer turning his attention back to Roderick Strong.
F is on the line and is on a thin line right now. That was the great equalizer.
Roderick Strong sweeping out the legs, taking some wild swipes. Oh!
Good God.
Riding his way back into this match, still in pursuit of his 3rd
Through the arms.
And now Roderick!
How about that leap?
Roderick Strong.
The stipulations laid out by MJF. Roderick Strong has done so. And MJF.
Something we don't.
Many hoops. And he did it. If he signed it for...
At Full Gear, this all ends.
Oh, wait. Konosuke Takeshita.
Excuse me.
That MJF.
MJF, excuse me. Dig in ahead of his match with Adam.
Facing off with the international champion, Konosuke Takeshita. Also a medal. Konosuke Takeshita for the first time ever.
Coming up in a week from Saturday. And the match is underway, and Adam Cole is
To earn his 2 of 3 potential victories. We
know Roddy's got the match. Now the question is, will it be a 3-way match?
Your screen, Adam Cole looking for the Panama Sunrise. But Takeshita. Victory to earn a spot in that match, or will the Alpha, the EW International?
How about that neck breaker?
The big man that hooked his leg was unable to fold any body weight. A little better look.
3rd match back from that lengthy layoff due to injury.
Grand slam.
Oh, Takeshita.
Fighting.
To kick out. And, you know, not to take anything away from Buddy Matthews or Malik Skate, Takeshita, of course, he's a singles champion. He's the international champion, but more one-up.
More recent experience, more confidence. Takeshita, the managership of Don Callis.
Now the elbow strike drops Adam Cole down. Cole, those elbow strikes, you can see Cole still not 100. Walked into the kick, swing and a miss. Adam Cole and Zagiri for the boom. No, Takeshita, rolling elbow strike. Adam Cole into the cover. And Takeshita able.
Cost him on that one.
That's exactly right. You could see from your vantage point, nothing down unless you knock him out.
Now Adam
Takeshita
Cole
wide in the line.
Counters. Switches. Great and plants. Takeshita.
Oh, that's it.
Lariat.
That is
He's
it.
knocked it.
423 days. Still has type of
Unwillingness to go into the night, but this may not have much choice.
As Takeshita able to avoid looking for that Takeshita sun. Rise. This has got to be it. Cole drops the knee pad. The boom. No, Takeshita.
what is it?
The Dynamizer. And now Takeshita.
Money well spent.
1, 2.
National champion, the Alpha Canusa.
MJF did know something that we didn't.
That's right. He's
He
got
had it.
Roderick Strong now against MJF. It will.
Obviously enjoying that it's not Takeshita just mocking Adam Cole. Didn't realize about Roderick Strong, the former international champion.
An attempt back.
What was Strong thinking?
As Takeshita lining up Roderick Strong. And O'Reilly, of course, a conglomeration member, but also longtime they have had through lives.
Yeah, look who's in the ring together, guys. Well, look at that. Well, he planted his foot right in the upper chest.
National championship. Since he's debuted here in between Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole. Wow. New friends, but perhaps some old grudges. I think can mean only one thing. There we see Marina Moxley, who has promised to take over the super.
The almighty Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Fit. Little over a week at Full Gear, you'll be having your official match here in AEW Wrestling, one of the most decorated we've had here in AEW. Do you feel prepared?
Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Let me show you how this is done. Some professional wrestling today. One of the most decorated champions in the young man's career.
You see, Renee, swerve or swerve.
You heard it from the. That's how it's done.
Thank you very much.
McGinnis, if there's one thing we know about Bobby Lashley is that he is a man of his word. The only steel chair in hand, that's JD Drake. JD was scheduled to compete late tonight of JD Drake.
Oh, we knew they would take over, but they are.
Was bothering no one. I'm sure he was preparing for his match coming up a little bit.
Moxley.
They're heading this way, fellas.
The AEW World
Always on the
Champion.
swivel flight.
And as we said tonight, already,
Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta also stalking over to as Moxley.
intimidating us. And
Moxley and his Death Riders. Just John Moxley, AEW World Champion, doing as he pleases.
I've been thinking days. He's playing the game very well. You couldn't save him. Wheeler Yuta belongs to me. Hands in your pocket, eyes on the prize. Orange. Oh, you're cool as a cucumber. City at Full Gear on November 23rd, and I will make Orange Cassidy. That his own mother won't recognize him. Selves a contender. Everybody who thinks they want to be somebody we want in AEW because I command the AEW.
Moxley keeps speaking as if his hand has been forced, but decisions. And he's made a decision to talk. comes Mark Briscoe, Rocky Romero, members of the conglomerate.
See, I wanted to come out here and let you know, John, you could do all the things you say you're going to do. And it's the symbol that represents AEW, that represents me. It represents everything that professional wrestling can be. But see, we could fight all around this building, become AEW World Champion, is by wrestling. Good at it too, because I beat you, remember that? Wrestle? And I'm gonna beat you. Told me a couple years ago, I need to get rid of one in particular. Next week, you gonna one that lets me take the king.
You have the guts to pull the trigger on somebody you think. I only got one message for you, one message, friends. On November 23rd, abandon all.
Jon Moxley build it however he sees fit. But like Orange Cap, the very fiber of all elite wrestling. It's Darby Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and Rocky Romero.
Wheeler Union's finally got his hands on Orange Cassidy.
And look at Bang leaping from the crowd. Does Darby Allin come from?
I don't know, but I can see Orange and the crew push their... It seems that way.
A coordinated effort. But wait a second. We're trying to restore. Now Claudio Castagnoli catching up. So they're living without Yoda.
Darby Allin's with a truck. Darby Allin is a lunatic.
And as well, Claudio Castagnoli
got run over.
I think in many ways he did.
Yoda. As Orange Cat. The career of Darby Allin right before our eyes.
Jon Moxley and the Fighters.
Well, I mean, we just took a look at the conglomerate trios match with Chris Jericho and the Learning Tree. Big Bill, but ultimately, and you saw there was ladders, tables, chairs, just about everything in for Jericho's Ring of Honor World Champion.
At Dynamite in Chicago for your Ring of Honor World Champion.
Always says, a person's true self is not seen in moments of...
Well said, Redwood. And thanks, since we were both working for Genshiro Tenryu, WAR in Japan. He used to get me coffee, carry my bags, and even wash my back in the and best pro wrestlers in the world. I should know, because it was I've ever had, also in Chicago. So it's only Alanzi Ishii for the Ring of Honor World Championship. A 9-time world champion and ROH champions of the past, like Jay Briscoe. Ever again.
Ishii?
Truer words were never spoken.
Well, Chris Jericho accepting the challenge of Tomohiro Ishii for kicks off live on Dynamite Thanksgiving Eve.
This next match is set for one fall. Introduced first from Pittsburgh.
Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, returned over Serena Deeb and was in line to potentially wrapped due to illness. Britt Baker, though, as we understand it, back at
this. But it's going to be an excellent match between two.
Pennsylvania, Penelope Ford.
2-year plus layoff. She was successful, did not go how Penelope planned. And she had a former AEW Women's World Champion. And fans, DraftKings is a fit and get enough right to earn your share of $10,000 in prizes. Download the DraftKings app. Whoa, quick roll up.
Yeah, try to win it quickly. Not a bad idea. Both young ladies here.
Baker's had plenty of obstacles. Must have been upset. She was unable to beat her at All In when she's now booked until 2028.
Also, it's okay for Britt Baker in control of the Penelope forward. Penelope hammers out the reversal. Oh, big elbow strike.
That caught her right in the jaw. Britt
ropes reversed. Britt comes underneath. Neck breaker. Penelope back of the head, the neck there. As Penelope, some frustration.
Time here. Not allowing
Penelope allowing Britt to tire herself out.
Oh, look at her trying to do it again.
You know, we don't know it all there, Nigel. Maybe a wise move.
Might be. Maybe Penelope Ford.
Grab her on the outside that time.
And Penelope, DMD, super bad. Penelope Ford, both win Ford with the advantage, or at least momentarily. As
this week she was coming back to AEW. We're going to hear from her right after.
Now pouring on the punishment, elbow strikes as Penelope. And fans, if you are in this kickoff party, get the first chance to buy tickets to All in Texas, win some priority in Texas.
Oh, that was Joel first.
And Penelope Ford,
Back handspring elbow. Now Penelope Ford regaining the momentum. Taunting
here, guys. At least, well, she was momentarily.
The ripcord. Goes back, the cutter. And now Penelope, it's up. Ford may have cost her.
Has to kick your movements here.
As Penelope Baker, the thrust kick. Penelope.
Oh, just slapped her in the face.
Neck breaker on Penelope Ford. But Penelope drop kick to the back. This.
The Muda lock in the center of the ring.
Britt Baker down on the mandibular nerve of Penelope Ford.
What an incredible
Ford tapping out.
He had no choice. None.
Well, Penelope Ford most certainly did not for every bit of that one.
As cunning as ever. Wait a second. Talking of opportunities.
DMD before tonight.
Yep. The professor.
Well, Serena Deeb calling her shot.
Hey guys, please welcome back. I imagine you're here to see Mariah May. I'm Miss Mariah May. Starting to go hat, and then we'll have big Nina Hirakawa, Holly Cameron. What? Never mind. But since you and me, tit for tit, rock 'em up. Oh, see, you said that.
Really how I feel when you two are at the desk.
I'm looking forward.
The following contest is set for one fall. 230 pounds.
A very interesting matchup that came about this past Saturday night at Collision. Victory this past Friday night at Collision. And after receiving that, ready to make the ascent here in AEW, what better way to do it than calling out Senator Mentor Lio Rush did at one point in his career in Swerve.
So, but you wonder if you are Swerve Strickland, the most dangerous Rush, or is it going to be on Bobby Lashley, the man Eddie Strickland?
I would think that Swerve Strickland is a pro enough to where he worry about him coming up next Saturday, Justin.
And
share of, shall we say, difficulties here in All Elite Wrestling. And Bobby Lashley, and you know, Renee Paquette, she had that up close. I've been actively looking for that fourth member, as has Ricochet and a number of athletes. Max Caster, right? Mercedes Lio Rush could make a very compelling case for himself with a victory over Swerve.
Winning streak, big wins over Commander and Arya Daivari.
Was the first man that MVP
projecting that offer from MVP, and that led to the match with Bobby Lashley. Swerve Strickland, Bobby Lashley, one-on-one. Scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen. And join as Swerve takes control of Lio Rush. Lio slips behind. This little tit for tat, perhaps. Just around the United States, not just being in the Northeast, but globally together. And matching one another, step forward. So much for that friendship, that mentorship. Lio Rush sent sternum first.
Into it, he's still trying to blink it open.
And Swerve, I was going to say, it could end up in a Swerve stomp later on in this floor. Lio Rush taking Swerve Strickland out of play. The VIP experience will be available this coming Wednesday, November. AEWTIX.com. Sign up to be insider today as Stomp once again.
Swerve was, he was turning around and almost in circles that time. And
most any athlete, the most dangerous when they are out of your field.
Some of the most brutal battles in AEW history.
Eyes and speed against him and coming away with a near fall.
Used to desperately ride the coattails of the former. Watch out!
Oh, Lio! Powerbomb, no, Lio escapes!
I think Lio saved his life that time.
As Leo...
Nobody's safe here at
wall-to-wall action. Cinched up front
out of that because Leo Rush was on target. And he's not sure either. Look at him.
That he knew that he faced 9 years ago. He's in there with Swerve Strickland. A man who on November 23rd will face Bobby Lashley at Full Curve. And Leo engages some hand fighting there. Body shot by Swerve. Countered with a hand on the ropes. And up. He's got that half Nelson in. But Leo...
It's an amazing match. It really is.
Leo Rush has really made a statement.
Counters. Strickland.
Yeah, but he earned every bit of it, Excalibur.
That's to Full Gear and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, momentum that...
They want to come for the former AEW World Champion and the baddest man in the place to prove a point. Leo Rush just tried to make a name off of my name. Remind a lot of people whose house it is. That's right there. 1 week from Saturday, we got Full Gear, but I don't know. So Bobby Lashley, bring your ass down here right now. Because
Yeah, he's called him.
But even with Prince Nana at his side.
After a very rough match against...
Well, there's MVP and Bobby Lashley, but...
Kid, all you got to do is ask me, and I'll set it up for you. And to be honest, the reason that well, one of the things that we wanted to teach you, Ari, it looks like the almighty Bobby Lashley is ready to fight in 2 weeks. Strength and numbers. But you haven't learned.
From behind, we knew he was somewhere in the building, Tony. Forgot about Shelton. Bobby Lashley manhandling Swerve Strickland.
Not at all.
You got to be honest, he's only got himself to blame.
That's the way Swerve is.
Meanwhile,
yeah, Nana unable to even the odds for Swerve.
Oh, come on.
Such power from Bobby Lashley. Lashley, the full Nelson, is cinched in.
Yeah, he gets this on you.
Immediately going to sleep. As Lashley, Glenn. And Nigel, you asked the question, whose house?
Well, we got everybody backing up, man.
Bobby Lashley. Tonight on Dynamite, what will the case be? 1 week. And coming up next on Dynamite, FTR, Kings of the... One more time.
Absolutely smashing. Right back at you. For Jamie Hayter.
I think that's a question that's on everybody's list. And I'm going to continue to do what I said I was going to. A couple of them, not all. That's for the future, but for the right thing.
Julia,
Brody?
it's time to come home.
Crazy dreams.
Private Party, who just a few weeks ago won the from home for the foreseeable future, but Private Party, they're showing up the team championship on the line for the first time, and it will be a Full Gear with a victory over Top Flight.
Somewhat of an upset, even though the outright direction.
Your main event today, Malachi Black, Brody King.
Malachi Black, Brody King, when they have played unbeatable, Tony.
10-3 overall, 3-0 so well. Brody, of course, the strong man and the pro wrestler. I know FTR is a great champion. I'm not so sure.
Tag team champions, you can never bet against FTR.
From Asheville, North Carolina, at a combined Wheeler
Nigel in pursuit of their third reign as especially with a duo like Malachi Black and Brody King.
Had with Adam Cole a couple of weeks ago. Perhaps doubts about his future, dying on the sword. Again, what does the future hold for the House of Black? We saw earlier on.
Coming up on Saturday, November 23rd, live on pay-per-view. 1 week from this Saturday night, coming up on pay-per-view.
Now, which one of these teams will go in to face Private Party and Saturday on Collision? LFI against the Acclaim will try to
have a Private Party a little bit concerned. Whoa!
Contenders match coming up on Collision. Also, we will see Mariah plus Johnny TV. He's been on the mind of MXM Collection as LaRouche and the Beast Mortos take on Platinum Max Caster, Anthony Cameron, Mina Shirakawa, one-on-one. All that so much on Malachi Black. Malachi evading, but different angle on those elbow strikes from the traditional pro wrestling rather than using.
Only with the bone there. Learning from one of the best. Dax, though.
You're right about that. Look at the duck.
Roundhouse kick.
After he could no longer stand against Adam Cole. But this is very different.
Now the roll up. Two. As Cash Wheeler, but now Malachi, that striking advantage. Malachi. Oh,
there it is.
Team Championships, the Outrunners already qualified for that match. This pass.
Cool.
As Malachi makes the crawl, makes the tag for the bulk of this match and is now punishing.
The 10 o'clock Eastern time hour, and Brody's going to work.
And now belly to belly throw. Takes Cash Wheeler over the top.
Cash. Here comes a big cannonball. You can see this one.
Up two. Cash Wheeler barely kicking out.
That's the greatest
scum body from Brody King as Private Party. The AEW world. I would be worried in a four-way matchup. You know,
overtime. You just got to wonder, is it going to be a mistake here that costs one of the...
Brody King down, allowing Cash time to recover. Cash and Brody head as... Wow, look at the strength of Cash Wheeler as...
Oh, I thought it was over.
Hip toss. Oh, no, not a hip toss. Lifting Dax into the face on Malachi. And that blocked Dax some precious, precious time.
And these four men are pushing each other to the limit.
Oh, Cassidy, Wheeler Yuta one-on-one. It is for Dynamite next official as right now Dax Harwood finding himself in the grip of Brody.
King didn't want any more of that.
Drop to a hold, looking to overcome the size advantage.
And Malachi to be found right now.
Superplex, big splash combination.
The power, the glory, the knees up, Malachi. Bringing Brody King into a pinning predicament. Two.
Incredible.
And the shatter machine. Making the cover. 1, 2, and no.
They got me. I'm not gonna lie. They got me. They got me.
Malachi trying to cover up. Elbow strikes. Return though. As Malachi
into one. Oh, the spike.
Spike. Demon hell.
Whoever's gonna
comes flying. 2. No.
Oh my God.
Oh. The cover once again. 2. No, again.
Believe it. Neither can the champions.
And the champions have to realize
of their minds, Dax and Cash know they are 2 wins away.
Just rubber legs. Yep.
His face is red. Yes, it is. Oh my God.
Wow. Well, I tell you what.
Goosebumps. That was impressive.
Broke the biggest tag team victory of their career. To join 4-way match for the Private Party, and our team will be this Saturday night at Collision. World Tag Champions, the Acclaim.
Was tremendous.
Great show of respect between.
Adolf Hitler, April 20, 1889 to 30 April 1945, was an Austrian-born German politician who was the dictator of Germany from 1933 until his suicide in 1945. He rose to power as the leader of the Nazi Party, becoming the Chancellor in 1933 and then taking the title of Führer und Reichskanzler in 1934. During his dictatorship, he initiated World War II in Europe by invading Poland on September 1, 1939. He was closely involved in military operations throughout the war and was central to the perpetration of the Holocaust, the genocide of about 6 million Jews and millions of other victims. Hitler was born in Braunau am Inn in Austria-Hungary and was raised near Linz. He lived in Vienna later in the first decade of the 1900s before moving to Germany in 1913. He was decorated during his service in the German army in World War I. In 1919, he joined the German Workers' Party, DAP, the precursor of the Nazi Party, and in 1921 was appointed leader of the Nazi Party. In 1923, he attempted to seize governmental power in a failed coup in Munich and was imprisoned with a sentence of 5 years. In prison, he dictated the first volume of his autobiography and political manifesto Mein Kampf, My Struggle. After his early release in 1924, Hitler gained popular support by attacking the Treaty of Versailles and promoting Pan-Germanism, anti-Semitism and anti-communism with charismatic oratory and Nazi propaganda. He frequently denounced international capitalism and communism as part of a Jewish conspiracy. By November 1932, the Nazi Party held the most seats in the Reichstag but did not have a majority. None of the political parties were able to form a majority coalition in support of a candidate for chancellor. Former Chancellor Franz von Papen and other conservative leaders persuaded President Paul von Hindenburg to appoint Hitler as Chancellor on January 30, 1933. Shortly after, the Reichstag passed the Enabling Act of 1933, which began the process of transforming the Weimar Republic into Nazi Germany, a one-party dictatorship based on the totalitarian and autocratic ideology of Nazism. On August 2, 1934, Hindenburg died and Hitler succeeded him as the head of state and government. Hitler aimed to eliminate Jews from Germany and establish a new order to counter what he saw as the injustice of the post-World War I international order dominated by Britain and France. His first 6 years in power resulted in rapid economic recovery from the Great Depression, the abrogation of restrictions imposed on Germany after World War I, and the annexation of territories inhabited by millions of ethnic Germans, which initially gave him significant popular support. One of Hitler's key goals was Lebensraum, lit. Living space, for the German people in Eastern Europe, and his aggressive foreign policy is considered the primary cause of World War II in Europe. He directed large-scale rearmament and, on September 1, 1939, invaded Poland, resulting in Britain and France declaring war on Germany. In June 1941, Hitler ordered an invasion of the Soviet Union. In December 1941, he declared war on the United States. By the end of 1941, German forces and the European Axis powers occupied most of Europe and North Africa. These gains were gradually reversed after 1941, and in 1945 the Allied armies defeated the German army. On April 29, 1945, he married his long-term partner, Eva Braun, in the Führerbunker in Berlin. On the following day, the couple committed suicide to avoid capture by the Soviet Red Army. In accordance with Hitler's wishes, their corpses were burned. The historian and biographer Ian Kershaw describes Hitler as the embodiment of modern political evil. 3. Under Hitler's leadership and racist ideology, the Nazi regime was responsible for the genocide of about 6 million Jews and millions of other victims, whom he and his followers deemed untermenschen, subhumans, or socially undesirable. Hitler and the Nazi regime were also responsible for the killing of an estimated 19.3 million civilians and prisoners of war. In addition, 28.7 million soldiers and civilians died as a result of military action in the European theater. The number of civilians killed during World War II was unprecedented in warfare, and the casualties constitute the deadliest conflict in history. Adolf Hitler, April 20, 1889 to 30 April 1945, was an Austrian-born German politician who was the dictator of Germany from 1933 until his suicide in 1945. He rose to power as the leader of the Nazi Party, becoming the Chancellor in 1933 and then taking the title of Führer und Reichskanzler in 1934. During his dictatorship, he initiated World War II in Europe by invading Poland on September 1, 1939. He was closely involved in military operations throughout the war and was central to the perpetration of the Holocaust, the genocide of about 6 million Jews and millions of other victims. Hitler was born in Braunau am Inn in Austria-Hungary and was raised near Linz. He lived in Vienna later in the first decade of the 1900s before moving to Germany in 1913. He was decorated during his service in the German army in World War I. In 1919, he joined the German Workers' Party, DAP, the precursor of the Nazi Party, and in 1921 was appointed leader of the Nazi Party. In 1923, he attempted to seize governmental power in a failed coup in Munich and was imprisoned with a sentence of 5 years. In prison, he dictated the first volume of his autobiography and political manifesto Mein Kampf, My Struggle. After his early release in 1924, Hitler gained popular support by attacking the Treaty of Versailles and promoting Pan-Germanism, anti-Semitism and anti-communism with charismatic oratory and Nazi propaganda. He frequently denounced international capitalism and communism as part of a Jewish conspiracy. By November 1932, the Nazi Party held the most seats in the Reichstag but did not have a majority. None of the political parties were able to form a majority coalition in support of a candidate for chancellor. Former Chancellor Franz von Papen and other conservative leaders persuaded President Paul von Hindenburg to appoint Hitler as chancellor on January 30, 1933. Shortly after, the Reichstag passed the Enabling Act of 1933, which began the process of transforming the Weimar Republic into Nazi Germany, a one-party dictatorship based on the totalitarian and autocratic ideology of Nazism. On August 2, 1934, Hindenburg died and Hitler succeeded him as the head of state and government. Hitler aimed to eliminate Jews from Germany and establish a new order to counter what he saw as the injustice of the post-World War I international order dominated by Britain and France. His first 6 years in power resulted in rapid economic recovery from the Great Depression, the abrogation of restrictions imposed on Germany after World War I, and the annexation of territories inhabited by millions of ethnic Germans, which initially gave him significant popular support. One of Hitler's key goals was Lebensraum, lit. living space for the German people in Eastern Europe, and his aggressive foreign policy is considered the primary cause of World War II in Europe. He directed large-scale rearmament and, on September 1, 1939, invaded Poland, resulting in Britain and France declaring war on Germany. In June 1941, Hitler ordered an invasion of the Soviet Union. In December 1941, he declared war on the United States. By the end of 1941, German forces and the European Axis powers occupied most of Europe and North Africa. These gains were gradually reversed after 1941, and in 1945 the Allied armies defeated the German army. On April 29, 1945, he married his long-term partner, Eva Braun, in the Führerbunker in Berlin. On the following day, the couple committed suicide to avoid capture by the Soviet Red Army. In accordance with Hitler's wishes, their corpses were burned. The historian and biographer Ian Kershaw describes Hitler as the embodiment of modern political evil. 3. Under Hitler's leadership and racist ideology, the Nazi regime was responsible for the genocide of about 6 million Jews and millions of other victims, whom he and his followers deemed Untermenschen, subhumans, or socially undesirable. Hitler and the Nazi regime were also responsible for the killing of an estimated 19.3 million civilians and prisoners of war. In addition, 28.7 million soldiers and civilians died as a result of military action in the European theater. The number of civilians killed during World War II was unprecedented in warfare, and the casualties constitute the deadliest conflict in history.